A Trump executive could face criminal charges as early as this summer. This is according to a report in the New York Times. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office is wrapping up its investigation into Trump's taxes, which could lead to the indictment of Trump's long-serving chief financial officer, Allen Weisselberg. If indicted, legal experts say that Mr. Weisselberg would be under intense pressure to cooperate with prosecutors, potentially turning the trusted executive into a star witness against the former president. Joining me now is former federal prosecutor and CNN legal analyst Shan Wu. Great to see you, Shan. So help us understand what the significance of this is.
Well, I think the big question in everybody's mind is why hasn't Weisselberg already flipped? And there's been so much reporting on it, and there's every indication that they are moving closer to charges. And that's because of, one, the length of the investigation, and two, it seems to be ramping up, not downwards at this point. Why hasn't he flipped? Well, probably he's holding out for the best deal possible. As you already said, he could be a real star witness. This is a very small family organization. From the reporting we've seen, a lot of times it's just him and former President Trump in the room working on finances together. So he could be really critical. There's a lot of pressure on him, even without the indictment. Family members may be involved, and so there is a lot of pressure on him to cut a deal not only for himself, but for his family. But we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes right now.
We don't know, but there is this reporting that there could be some action soon. If he is indicted, do you think that it is more likely he will turn on the former president?
I think that makes it more likely. The stakes get much bigger once he's indicted. But I think his lawyers would already be involved in very serious, in-depth conversations right now. I don't know that all that much would change with the indictment. I mean, if it's a game of chicken at this point, are they really going to indict me? That would be a foolish gamble on his part. The earlier he cuts the deal, usually, the better it will be. They're going to want a more serious punishment if they have to go through the trouble of actually indicting him. Now, hypothetically, maybe he won't turn. Maybe he'll resist all this, and maybe he thinks he has good defenses, or maybe it's really just out of loyalty. But if there's one rule in criminal defense, is loyalty only takes you so far. And when there's this kind of pressure, when your own family members may be at risk, most people will eventually elevate those concerns first and look to cut a deal.
I want to pivot to disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein. He is being extradited to California, where he's facing 5 additional charges of sexual assault. Weinstein is already serving a 23-year sentence for 2 rape convictions in New York. Shan, the defense has been stalling on this for a while, citing Weinstein's health issues. Do you think that that tactic has finally run its course?
It probably has. There's only so much they can do to fight off the extradition. It's not like he's in some other country with no extradition treaty. He's in New York going to California. People may also wonder here, why prolong the inevitable? Why does he, keep up this kind of delay tactic? Well, the reason is, in defense, delay always helps the defendant. Witnesses, their memories may fade, they may become unavailable, evidence may become unavailable. So every little bit of delay that his team can put together, the better it is. I also think they're probably holding out his best hope is for whether he can win anything on appeal. And in cases like this, sexual assaults where they used evidence of non-charged crimes, there's always some potential you might win something on appeal if the Court of Appeals thinks that was too prejudicial. If he could win something on appeal, he'd be off to a fresh start in terms of his bargaining ability with the government, because this is a fight for his life, or at least spend some part of his life remaining outside of prison.
All right, Shan Wu, thanks so much for coming on this Saturday night. Great to see you.
Good to see you.